Okay, so let's give this sandwich some flavor. Let's put something in the middle. This is where I am going to do the adjustment. I am going to go now and make the dress darker. I'm not going to pay attention to the face. And let me show you what I'm looking for. I'm going to cheat a little bit and jump ahead. Notice this is the painting when it was finished. And notice how we have here the highlights, the lights and the darks. I needed to add white. I needed to blend the lights and the darks and to show where the dress started and where it ended. But over here, I don't know where it starts and it ends. I have to come in here and work a little harder if I don't have the guidelines. So I am going to come in here and correct it and prepare it in Photoshop. So when I go into Painter, it'll be all there for me. It'll be much easier. So let us proceed and let me show you how to do it. Really, really easy. I am going to take the middle and I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to go Image, Adjust, Levels, or Command or Control L. Okay. And now, don't look at the face. Just look at the dress. Actually, let me move this over here a little bit and let's go again. Image, Adjust, Levels. And I'm going to take that middle slider and I'm going to go to the right. Notice how the face is getting really looking beautiful. It's not the face I'm concerned with. I want you to look at the dress. Okay? The dress is starting to get darker. Look at those colors popping out. Let's take that left slider and move it in as well. Look at that. It almost looks already painted. Okay. And I'm going to say, okay. So, let me bring the image up over here. Let me come in closer. And again, ignore everything else. Just look at the details in the dress. And if I close this detail, there it is. I've got nothing there. And here I have the detail. Now what I want to do is I only want the detail that I'm interested in, but I also want to keep the rest of the image in the right color. So what I need is I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I'm really into food today. Let me turn on the top layer. And the top layer is a duplicate of the bottom layer. You got the bread on the bottom, the bread on top. What I need to do is on the top layer, I want to add a layer mask. By adding a layer mask and painting in the mask, I will be able to reveal only the parts that I am interested in to be able to make my image ready for painting. I will be painting in the correction because we are painters. So you have to be in your brush, okay, and your brush and the tool palette, and you have to make sure that you are in black and white mode with the black on the front. And let's get a nice size brush. Make sure that it's soft. The hardness should be at 0. Let's get a little larger. And let me proceed to start revealing what's under here. So I'm not going to come in here. Let's just get a really big one to exaggerate. I'm not going to do that because I don't really want everything. Okay? I want to selectively bring in just piece by piece. Now I'm looking and I see that I'm working a little too hard. It's because in the previous lesson I had the opacity down to 58. You want the opacity to be at 100. So let me go back and undo this. By just clicking on the white, I can bring back all that information. Just get rid of that. And now I'm back in business. And I am trying. I'm working really, pressing very, very hard. I don't know why. Okay, let me go back to the black. There we go. And let me come now with a smaller brush. Come on, behave yourself. We are on DVD. There we go. And let me start again. Let me just reveal the dark areas of the dress. Let me come in a little closer. I want to bring in this area. It's a little too dark. I can always go back. Now, I'm finding that I went a little too dark, obviously. If it's too dark, I can either undo it, but I could be doing it over and over and never get it right. The way I like to do it is I take that middle layer that I applied the adjustment to, and I dial it down to 0. And then I bring it in slowly until I start seeing the detail, just like that. So that's just perfect. Now I'm going to continue to bring in the darks that I want, just like that. And if I feel it's like over here, it's a little too much, let me bring in a little over there too. Under the arm, it was too much. I'll go back with the white, and we'll take that away. I don't want to bring it where it's not necessary, and we'll just go like that. So I really feel like I'm painting. I'm painting in the details, just the ones that I want. And every layer serves its purpose. The middle layer, of course, is where I apply my adjustment. The top layer is where I bring my layer mask and I reveal only what I want from this layer. You see? It looks like I'm poking a hole in it. Now, if I used an eraser and not a layer mask, I wouldn't be able to bring back that information. But in a layer mask, I can. And what is the bottom layer for? I'll tell you what the bottom layer is for. If I need to lower the opacity on this layer and I don't have that bottom layer, it won't have anything to fall back on. It will be transparent, okay? Because that is 48% opacity. But if I have that bottom layer at 100% and I lower this one to 48, it's 48 plus 100, and that will bring out, it will lower the levels and it'll be just right. So I have already an image. Where is that? Over here, that I've prepared already. I did all the darks and I brought in the bottom of the dress. But now what I need to do is to fix the face. So let me just move back for 1 second and let me show you. So let's say I did all this and I'm really, whoops, and I'm happy. Now you see what happened? I was on the wrong layer. And if by accident I click on this window with the picture and I start revealing, I'll be painting in black, okay? So if you see that you're painting in black, make sure that you're highlighted, that this is outlined. The window of the mask is outlined, and then you can proceed to bring in the adjustments just in the area where you want it to be, okay? Again, this is a little too much. We'll go like that. So let's say I'm happy with this. I am going to proceed now to flatten my image. And now I need to do a sandwich all over again, because now I want to lighten the face. I can't lighten the face and darken the dress at the same time. It's a contradiction. So now I'm going to go and duplicate this image 3 times. But let me do it with the image that I already fixed. So I'm going to take this image that was prepared before, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm duplicating it twice, and I'm giving that middle layer the adjustment. And this time I'm going to do Command or Control L. Now you could use curves or any type of adjustment that you want to do. It doesn't necessarily have to do levels. I just do a nice simple levels because I teach on a very simple I teach on a very simple level. That's why I use levels. So I'm going to come in here and make the face lighter. I start always with the middle dial, and then I take the outermost dial and I go to the left as well. And again, if I go too much, I can always dial down the opacity. And let me say okay. And let me come in and let me see what I did. Let me turn back on the full image. And this is the light and this is the dark. And now what I'm going to do is add a layer mask and come in here with the brush, and I'm going to reveal just what I need. I don't need the hair and everything. I just want the face. If I went too far, I'm going to bring it back with my white. See, because the hair looks good. Everything is fine. Let's go back to the black. I do want to take out the neck from the shadow. And I'm all set. If it was too light, I can always take this and lower the opacity. But watch what happens if I lower it down to 0. I got my dark face again. Okay? So, because what I'm doing is I'm totally making this disappear, and I'm seeing what's directly under the top layer, which is the bottom layer. So let's turn this back on, and let's slowly introduce the adjustment that we just did. And I think that's just perfect. So I'm going to close this eye and show you this is in shadow, and this is just right. So I did the adjustment first for the dress, and then I did it for the face. So at this point, I am going to flatten the image totally, and I'm going to come in here, and now I'm going to add a white border. I'm going to go Image, Canvas Size, make sure Relative is selected, and I'm going to add 3 inches, and it's going to be the canvas extension color of the background, which happens to be white, and I'm going to say OK. And now I'm ready to bring my image into Painter and start painting. But before we take this image and we go into Painter, I want to show you how to apply the sandwich not only to everything in the image adjustment category, but I use this to give a nice soft glow on the face, on the texture of the face before we paint it. And let me show you. It's really cool.